Can we all agree that this episode is an 11 out of 10? Our scoring system doesn't technically allow it, but I feel confident saying that The Rescue is the most momentous episode of The Mandalorian yet, both for how it connects to the larger Star Wars universe and for the seismic shift it creates in Din Djarin and Grogu's stories. What will The Mandalorian even look like as a series from this point on? Are we really going to be bereft of Baby Yoda, who is now training to be a Jedi with Luke Skywalker himself? Fingers crossed that he graduates long before that grumpy Ben Solo shows up. In many ways, the events of the Season 2 finale open up the scope of the series, allowing for storytelling possibilities we might never have imagined, since the show has certainly had to jump through a lot of narrative hoops to explain why Mando would leave Grogu with a stranger or hide him somewhere during his most dangerous missions, and now he won't have to. On the other hand, what is the show if not a lone wolf and cub story of Mando and Grogu and their adorable dynamic? To me, the best season finales are always those that propel a show in unexpected directions, so it's honestly thrilling to be faced with the prospect that The Mandalorian Season 3 could be entirely different from the 2 seasons that have come before, perhaps filling in the blank spots about Mandalore that the franchise has only hinted at until now. Once again directed by Peyton Reed, The Rescue is pure fan service from beginning to end, but that's not a criticism so much as testament to the love and reverence the Mandalorian's creative team has for this franchise. From the way the episode opens with the role reversal of Boba Fett's Slave 1 passing over the top of an Imperial shuttle, to Luke Skywalker's chill-inducing stride through the Imperial cruiser to take out the Dark Troopers, to the delightful post-credit scene of Boba taking revenge on Bib Fortuna and seemingly establishing himself as the new ruler of Jabba the Hutt's crime syndicate on Tatooine, and apparently setting up a Book of Boba Fett spin-off series in the process. The episode is an unabashed love letter to Star Wars. Bib Fortuna even says McClunky for goodness sake.
Pizza McClunky.
Despite the callbacks, it also never loses sight of the unlikely relationship at its heart, giving Din and Grogu a poignant and deeply affecting farewell that's played to perfection by Pedro Pascal, as our stoic hero takes off his helmet in front of a room full of allies and strangers to look his child in the eye and say goodbye, for now. Seeing Grogu tenderly touch Mando's face is enough to melt the coldest heart, and there's something so quintessentially Star Wars about how great storytelling and sublime puppeteering can create such a magical moment between human performer and a mechanical creature, to the point that your brain never registers that Grogu isn't a living, breathing person. As with the second chapter of this season, Reed masterfully directs the action this episode. All the set pieces are cleanly choreographed and well paced, making use of our heroes' diverse fighting styles and skill sets. While it's a little disappointing to see the Dark Troopers dispatched so quickly after so much build-up, Reed does a great job of establishing how deadly they are in a short amount of time. Mando's showdown with just a single Dark Trooper is bone-rattling, and seeing him get his ass handed to him is a neat visual shorthand for Reed to later emphasise just how powerful Luke is when he's able to so easily cut them all down. My only real nitpick with the episode comes courtesy of the mythology surrounding the Darksaber. Moff Gideon and Bo-Katan both act like Bo-Katan must win it from Mando in order to rule Mandalore, but Star Wars Rebels has already established that the rules surrounding the blade's ownership are pretty malleable, since Sabine Wren simply handed it over to Bo-Katan there. It feels like the script is tying itself into unnecessary knots just for the sake of setting up conflict between Din and Bo-Katan over who should be the true leader of Mandalore. Reclaiming their lost planet and reuniting the disparate Mandalorian factions does seem like the clearest path for the show to take in Season 3, now that Grogu has a new babysitter. But clearly there are still some political tensions that need to be ironed out before Bo-Katan will accept Mando's help. As for the Luke Skywalker of it all, the visual effects on the de-aging were a little distracting for me, but much like with Leia and Tarkin in Rogue One, I'm willing to forgive the Uncanny Valley moment in favour of the emotional impact of seeing that glove and that green lightsaber mowing down Dark Troopers, and the moment the hood comes down accompanied by that iconic theme, especially when R2-D2 rolls in. While a part of me does want the franchise to get away from the Skywalkers, since Mando is a compelling character in his own right, it does make sense for Luke to be the Jedi to answer Grogu's call, just given the timeline of the show. And, in hindsight, it's a little hilarious how quick some of us were to jump to wild theories about Ezra Bridger and Cal Kestis when the most obvious answer was right in front of us. Even more hilarious is the fact that Din doesn't even get Luke's name, let alone what he plans to do with the kid. A+ dad instincts as usual, Mando. The Mandalorian Season 2 finale is a perfect blend of Star Wars' nostalgic past and hopeful future. It's pure fan service, but sometimes that's a great thing, offering a celebration of all the things that have made this franchise so iconic over the years. Epic action, a scrappy band of heroes fighting against the odds, and the friendships and loyalties you'd sacrifice anything for. The abrupt ending and tantalising post-credit scene leave plenty of questions about where the show will go from here, but that's all part of the thrill. If you want even more Mando, why not check out an episode of Canon Fodder?